The kids network Nickelodeon helped shape pop culture for decades, but a new docuseries, Quiet on Set, the dark side of kids' TV, is exposing the toxic culture behind some of the most iconic children's shows of the 90s and 2000s.
Now, this is Drake Bell and Josh Peck. She was actually in another show we're going to talk about in just a second. Things involving Ariana Grande that I wish I could unsee. Check out the links in the description for my favorite apparel, Bibles, books, commentaries, and more. Howdy y'all, I'm Brylan. Where I live, people mow their lawns almost every single day. So if you hear then, well, I can't do anything about it. Kirk Cameron is at it again. Check this out. He says children's entertainment is getting darker by the minute. It absolutely is. Nickelodeon, I've got a message for you. We're taking back children's entertainment, one episode at a time. And we're doing it without a hidden agenda. Woo! Wouldn't that be nice? Parents can trust Adventures with Iggy and Mr. Kirk, just like we trusted Mr. Rogers. Go to watchbrave.com to help fund the future of children's television. You know, this is a great thing to have an alternative in the children's television space. You know, all of it is garbage today. That's why we need Christians to stand up and make content that is safe. And so, you know, Kirk Cameron's done this kind of thing with children's books, for instance. He's written children's books that don't have a hidden agenda behind it, that have biblical principles, and just a freedom-loving, truth-telling message. So I want to show you what Kirk Cameron has to say in this video. It's extremely important. And then we're going to look at the tragic truth behind some of the atrocities and abuse that happened behind the scenes on some of the most popular TV shows of the 90s and 2000s. Hey, real quick, would you hit that thumbs up button? You know, when you like this video, to get pushed out to more people, and it would really help spread the truth.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you're no doubt, like many other millions of Americans, absolutely disgusted, ready to throw up in your mouth over the moral perversion and twisted sickness that's coming out about people who are being employed at children's television networks like Nickelodeon. Didn't start in the 1990s. I'm very sad to say that some of those same people that were working on those shows were also working on Growing Pains. How about you join me and other brave Americans to become the executive producers of our children's future? We have begun a new television program that embraces these good values, these wholesome lessons, and it's called The Adventures of Iggy and Mr. Kirk. It's beautiful stories, wholesome biblical values, beautiful animation. Kids are going to love it, and we've got 3 episodes already fully funded. It's time to get off the defense and get on the offense. If you want to join me, then be brave, join us, click on the link, and help us reverse the curse and turn this whole thing around. God bless you.
I am not in any way, shape, or form being asked to talk about this whatsoever. But you know, if you follow my channel, that I talk about the absolute disgusting depravity in children's shows today. And this means a lot to me, and it should mean a lot to all of us. But here's Watch Brave. Again, I have no skin in this game whatsoever. I'll show you a snippet of this video as well. But so yeah, they're funding. They've raised over $400,000 for this show so far. Their goal is $1.25 million. Off the top of your head, you can probably name a dozen movies or TV shows you would not allow your children to watch. But how many can you name that you would, without reservation, want your children to watch? That, you know, that's a fantastic question. I've actually asked a similar question on my channel before, but can you name something that you would have zero hesitation for your children to watch? But then again, our kids don't really watch TV at all anyway. We have a few things that we'll watch together for fun. That's also informative. Check this out. It has hit the point where there are now over 250 LGB characters in children's television shows. Recently, CoComelon Lane has featured an LGB couple. Again, this is actually one of the most popular TV shows on planet Earth, and they just recently introduced an LGB couple. And I did a video on that, and it'll blow you away what they did. Movies like Lightyear have LGB kissing scenes. Strange World features LGBT teen romance. Even Blue's Clues has taught children about the LGB flags. You know, what our children watch will affect who they are as they grow. It's going to have such an effect that you're going to see an entire generation. Well, you're seeing it now, really. Over 30% of Gen Z claim to be LGB. That's insane. Check out what Kirk Cameron and Lee Allen Baker had to say about their new show.
I'm Kirk Cameron. Come with me. My friends and I have an announcement to make.
Hey, Kirk.
Hey.
Hey, friends. I'm Lee Allen Baker. And we have something super exciting for you.
Did you tell him yet, Mr. Kirk? Did you tell him?
In the past, the worst a parent had to worry about was mind-numbingly boring or annoying content. But the content parents face today is unlike anything that's ever come before.
That's right. It's not only wildly inappropriate, but strips away children's innocence with messaging that is confusing at best, or sets them on a path that ends in irreparable harm at worst.
Yeah.
Hollywood executives have a monopoly on children's entertainment. As parents, we want world-class children's content that we can trust. So it's time we stopped just wishing something better existed and instead took our children's entertainment into our own hands.
Adventures with Iggy and Mr. Kirk is going to be the first children's TV show that will both, one, be so good that even parents are going to want to watch it with their kids, and two, build children's character and reinforce the biblical values we believe in.
Very cool.
Imagine a show that teaches solid morals like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, only modernized with high energy, hilarious dialogue, animated stories, new surprise guest stars at every turn, and Iggy the Iguana.
And it's really cool that someone from the Disney Channel, that was a Disney Channel star, if you will, Lee Allen Baker, is a part of this. That's really neat. Isn't it, guys? It's really neat. But now listen to what Lee Allen Baker says right here about what the show is going to be focusing on, the themes.
Do crafts with her.
Aw, thanks, Iggy. I am so excited to be working with you, Kirk, and other great guest stars. What I'm most excited about is how each episode will teach a valuable lesson, like honesty, loving your family, and the sanctity of life.
I love it.
Wow, did you see that? Talking about the sanctity of life in our country right now, of just, well, no big deal to just slaughter the unborn. They don't matter. They don't mean anything. Even though science, you remember, trust the science. Science proves that that is a life that you are taking, stilling, destroying, but it doesn't matter because I want what I want and don't want to be held accountable to God. Now, this is all coming off the heels of the bombshell Nickelodeon stuff that is getting basically exposed right now with, you know, this documentary called Quiet on Set, and then also these mega stars doing interviews exposing what's happened to them. I mean, you're seeing it all over. Nickelodeon stars, Disney Channel stars. Now, I can't play too much of this video, but I'm just going to give you a little snippet of what's going on.
The kids network Nickelodeon helped shape pop culture for decades, but a new docuseries, Quiet on Set, the dark side of kids' TV, is exposing the toxic culture behind some of the most iconic children's shows of the 90s and 2000s. As young viewers flock to the channel for beloved programs like The Amanda Show and All That, sexual abuse and harassment were rampant behind the scenes.
In a lot of cases, lots of cases, these children were abused, terribly abused, and they couldn't say anything about it because of the weight that was on their shoulders. How tragic. And you see this in shows like Drake and Josh. Now, this is Drake Bell and Josh Peck. She was actually in another show we're going to talk about in just a second. But Drake Bell recently did an interview where he exposed the abuse that he took when he was a part of, well, this Drake and Josh, which is one of like the most popular kids shows ever. But he talked about and exposed what happened to him and who did it. This isn't the only story you hear about. You hear about it on The Amanda Show as well. Look at Amanda Bynes today. She is messed up. And unfortunately, you know, I can't show you the interviews of any of this stuff. It is being targeted like crazy. So, I mean, you know, you can go find it for yourself. You've also seen it from kids that were on All That. getting targeted and getting abused. You've seen it on iCarly. There's all kinds of stuff you can go find out about iCarly and what happened there behind the scenes with the creator of the show. In fact, Jeanette McCurdy, who was the blonde girl over here in the show, put out a video talking about what she was exposed to and what happened to her. Again, you can go look these up if you want to hear more. But this is just going to keep going on. Here's Victorious, things that have come out that has happened on this show. Again, with the creator and others. And some extremely disturbing things involving Ariana Grande that I wish I could unsee. But what do you expect when these people are given over to a debased mind, to utter depravity? They have no morality whatsoever. Like, is it really a surprise that we're hearing about all this abuse that has been going on for all these years behind the sets on these humongous, some of the most famous kids shows ever made? No, it's not a surprise. And that's what's sad about it, is that when, as a society, we give ourselves over to this where anything and everything goes, whatever you're attracted to, because, well, we don't want to judge you. You know, in Matthew chapter 18, check this out. This is when Jesus is actually answering a question from his disciples. Check this out. At that time, the disciples came to Jesus saying, "Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" And calling to him a child, he put him in the midst of them and said, "Truly, I say to you, unless you turn and become like children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Whoever humbles himself like this child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven." And then check out verse 5 through 7 here. "Whoever receives one such child in my name receives me. But whoever causes one of these little ones who believes in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a great millstone fastened around his neck and to be drowned in the depth of the sea." You know, Jesus is conveying the severity of this sin here. He's talking about having a millstone. It would be better to have a millstone fastened around your neck. You know, millstone is a huge round stone that they would use to crush grain and different things like that, that weighed thousands of pounds in a lot of instances. And it would be better for you to have that stone tied around your neck and thrown into the depth of the sea than it would for you to face the punishment, the wrath of God for causing one of these little ones to sin. You know, these verses here are talking about causing any believer to sin. But I do believe that it is especially pointing out the severity of causing a child in particular to sin. The severity of that sin, you're going to wish that you could face any other wrath besides the wrath of God. But hey, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. And please hit that subscribe button. Join this community. I would love to hear from you regularly. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that thumbs up button, you know, when you like this video, it'll get pushed out to more people and it would really help spread the truth. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.